Magic Ghostbuster here. So currently right in the thick of it with all the Christmas gigs. Just got back from a job doing a breakfast with Santa at Centre Parks, and this package has just arrived, which is rather heavy. It's a load of leather because I have finally decided to go through and make my Vigo costume in leather. So I made my original Vigo costume a couple of years ago now, and let me show you a little part of it. Let's get the main part. So this is the upper part. Doesn't really go with the suit I'm wearing. It probably looks a bit ridiculous, but so this was made out of material I found online. It's like a weathered brown material, and to be fair, I was quite pleased with it. My original intention was to make this costume in leather, but leather is very expensive, and I just thought, you know, I'm not like a costume maker or what's the word for people that do sewing and all that. You know, I'm not one of them. So I thought, do you know what? I'm going to make it out of this cheaper material first, because I don't want to cut a load of leather and then it just turns out to be a disaster, because this could have easily been a disaster and no one ever would have seen it. But the leather's arrived now. I'm waiting for a few studs. Now, what really spurred me on to do this is a couple of things. First up, the original Screen Use costume become up for auction through the prop store, and that gave us really, really good reference pictures of the costume. Like, you can zoom right in, you can see lots of the little details, so that was amazing. Also, the other thing is, me and the South End Sea Ghostbusters are doing the London New Year's Day parade. The rest of them will be Ghostbusters, I will be Vigo. So we're doing that for charity to raise money for Great Ormond Street. So yeah, I thought, let's try and get this done now. Now, it's going to be tight because, just in case you don't know, I am a professional magician. I mentioned I did a gig earlier, hence the name the Magic Ghostbuster. So this time of year gets very busy, so I'm going to sort of just be working on this in between gigs, and I'll be videoing little parts and doing little videos every now and again. But I just wanted to go over a few little things that I'm going to change, because overall I was pretty happy with the original costume in terms of fit. There was a couple of little things. I was never quite happy with the skirt part, the way that fit. It was just a little tight and didn't taper out as much. So what I did the other day was I just bought this cheap vinyl. Oh no, cut some holes in that just so I could sort of tie it to myself, just so I could get an idea of the fit before, and then I can obviously trace this onto the actual leather, and hopefully you know, it'll be a lot better. And these photos, because they gave us so many good reference pictures, I realised that the angle there I actually got slightly wrong. So this is pretty much a 90 degree angle. It actually comes out a little bit more, so I've adjusted that. And a few other interesting things. These studs here are small spikes, about which I always assumed they were little spikes. They're not, they're actually like little domes. So I've bought new studs for those, and interestingly the domes on this part are slightly bigger than the domes on some of the other bits, like the gauntlets and things. So I'm going to go as accurate as I can. There's a couple of things. The belt buckle I originally used is this. So Vigo has like a spiral belt buckle, and this is as close I could get for an actual metal one. I wanted to use a real metal one. Next year I'm going to look into getting one actually made properly. I could 3D print one. I just wanted the real metal one, so that's why I used that. Now, the original costume I'm mostly going to keep intact, although I am going to take the belt buckle off and use that on the new one, you know, just to save some money. But overall, I want to just keep it intact just for nostalgia more than anything. And then on this part, so again, the skulls buckles are not exactly accurate, but again, as close as I get, and they're a pretty good size. So again, same thing. Next year, I'm going to look into getting, you know, them made properly. But a couple of interesting things is, so you got these pyramid studs on here, and again, these new pictures, I realised that the ones on this part are actually bigger than this one. So I've bought different sizes of those. A couple of other interesting things is, so I used this rope for this part, which I dyed brown. It was originally white. So I bought leather rope for this part, so I'm going to twist it up as best I can, get that on there. I used that around the collar, but there actually isn't actually rope around the collar, which is interesting. It's actually looks more like frayed leather, so going to do that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting started. The only thing I'm not going to go 100% accurate with is these parts which go round the calf. So again, this part didn't actually go up for sale with the rest of the costume, so haven't got the best look at that, but I did look at some screenshots again and realised it's actually pyramid studs on here, whereas I've used the spike ones, and I was thinking, oh, I'll use the dome ones, but I actually looked at it in more detail, and I'm going to double check, but it looks more like the pyramid studs to me on there. But there's a couple of things I'm not going to do too much change to this, because originally how I did this, it just goes around the back and ties. Now on the original costume, he's wearing like longer boots, and it's actually sort of it's cut out more there, and there's like a couple of buckles. I'm not going to go with that on this version, just because I don't have any, like, you know, long boots. So I can, using this, I can just wear it with shorter boots as I normally wear. I've always struggled finding like longer boots. It took me a long time to find decent like boots for my Ghostbusters suit that I was actually happy with. So yeah, so I'm not going to change that. And also there's a bit on here which I originally did on this version that went underneath the boot and then ran to the other side. But the problem I found with that is, you know, you're at a convention, you go to the toilet and there's loads of piss on the floor, and then that part ends up, you know, getting... So I had that, and I probably had it on for about half a day at a convention, and then I was like, nope, that's coming off. So yeah, I'm not going to do too many changes to that except these studs, but I'm just going to double check it is definitely the pyramid studs. But yeah, I've got a lot of leather here, so yeah, really looking forward to getting started. So I've used like, I've bought like a distressed leather, and then I bought this grey leather as well, just for the grey parts. I'm going to have a lot of that left. So got a few ideas for what I'm going to do with bits that are left over, but there will be more videos coming on the Vigo costume, hopefully, you know, just as I go along, and then hopefully a video on the final reveal when it's done. I'm kind of at that stage now where I was the same when I started the original costume. I've like got most of the bits now. I've got the expensive part. I'm waiting for a few studs. I'm waiting for a couple of other little tools and things I need. But I'm just at this stage where I'm like almost in a panic. Like, I don't want to start because I feel like it's going to go completely wrong. But I'm sure once I get started and it's sort of halfway there, I'll be a lot happier. But anyway, that's just a little update on the Vigo costume. So my plan, hopefully, is to have it finished by 1st of January for the London New Year's Day parade. So fingers crossed on that. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully see you in the next video. Until then, keep on busting.
Want to give a big shout out to the Magic Ghostbuster. Hey Darren, very, very impressive.